Today we're going to discuss the Microteach session that's needed to pass the Level 3 award in Education and Training. So the Microteach session is the main focus of the Level 3 award in Education and Training, and the theory, portfolio and the session plan leads to this assessment. Then after the session you will discuss how it went. So the syllabus for any Level 3 award in Education and Training, regardless of the awarding body or the training provider, is that you must complete a Microteach session. Therefore, you need to plan it to ensure that you meet the learning requirements from your session. Normally your session is 15 minutes long, and 15 minutes is really not a long time, particularly as you need to introduce your session, teach, assess, and give conclusions. The key phrase to the Level 3 award in Education and Training is inclusive. So you need to devise an inclusive session. This means that you need to get everyone involved in your session. The most simplest ways to get everyone involved in your Microteach is to ask each person a question and to get everyone involved in your session. This is easier said than done, especially as you'll naturally have learners who are quite shy or quiet, so you need to involve them delicately without picking on them. So the Level 3 award in Education and Training asks you to plan realistic aims and objectives. So remember, you've only got 15 minutes, so you're not expected to cover a full unit, but rather just 1 or 2 achievable aims. My advice when it comes to planning a session is less is generally more. The more content you cram in, the more time you spend reading and the less time your learners get involved in your activities. You only have 15 minutes, so you need to use these 15 minutes wisely. So what subject should you teach for your Microteach? No awarding body has actually stipulated the requirements for the Level 3 award in Education and Training, so I do advise that you teach a subject or a hobby that you're familiar with. I do not recommend trying something new here. Try something that's familiar to you, whether that's what you do for work, what you studied at university, or simply your favourite hobby. I have observed sessions from first aid, mental health, salsa dancing, tea making, cocktail making, you name it. Just stick to something you know. The biggest point to understand is that the teaching and learning activities, you don't know if your learners have learned anything if you don't actually include assessment activities. So the objective of the Level 3 award in Education and Training is to ensure that learners plan appropriate sessions to create opportunities for learning. If you simply read straight from the PowerPoint for 15 minutes, your learners won't get a chance to practice or learn anything, and they'll be quite bored. So overall, you should spend less time teaching than the learners do practicing. So to cater for different individuals, let's say learning styles to start with, create a mixture of activities to hit each learning style. You can have some videos, let's have some discussions, let's have some role plays, and finish off with a quiz. Create additional resources that accompany your session as well. So are your resources or handouts suitable for reading and writing preferences, for auditory learners, visual learners, or kinesthetic learners? Again, plan several resources to meet the needs of different learners, which helps with the inclusivity requirement for the Level 3 award in Education and Training. Your activities should be short, around 3 to 4 minutes per activity. With 15 minutes, you need a couple of minutes for an introduction to the topic, or maybe even yourself, a few minutes to teach your learners something, and then a few minutes for your learners to complete an activity. You may then develop your learners by introducing a new concept and then create another task for your learners to complete. Before you know it, you've only got a few minutes left to conclude your session, ask questions, and wrap up. So for timings, try to keep within 10 to 15% of the 15 minutes. It's not the end of the world if you are too short or too long. You may want to introduce an icebreaker activity or introduce ground rules. This will depend on whether you know your learners and what expectations you need to set, but generally speaking, these are not included within the time allowance. Lastly, within the Level 3 award in Education and Training, you need to justify why you selected your teaching and learning approaches, your resources and assessment methods listed on your session plan. You should explain how these approaches will meet the individual needs of your learners you'll be teaching. So this gives some thought to your thinking as to whether you understand the theory work you completed in the Level 3 award in Education and Training by applying the concepts to your session.